I was just thinking about something about all the negative stuff that's been happening in the world, not just in the past couple years, but also ever since the beginning of this century. And one thing that I realized is that despite all the bad stuff that has been going on, the war in Iraq first, and then the other wars that followed it. I think people, good people, have shown their own will and their own goodness is not going to get changed or influenced by political machinery in any of these countries. And there, what is what really gives me hope is that there are people like Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and all these. They are the true heroes. They are the true heroes of today, and not these guys like generals and soldiers and whatever. They are just you know pieces of wheels in a big machinery that is threatening threatening to destroy this world as we know it anyway. And it is sad, of course, that people like Assange and Snowden had to pay for what they did. What they did was right, and they acted out of their own conscience, conscience, and they just knew that it was the right thing to do, to disclose all these secret documents, because people needed to know that, because otherwise too many people would have believed in what the media say and what the politicians say. Because the politicians will never tell you the whole truth, of course, and especially politicians like you know politicians of today. In particular, it all started with George W. Bush, of course, that big criminal, and then it just kept going. Of course, Tony Blair is not much better than him, of course, and then we had this guy that just left the office, Cameron, and just one big douchebag, and Putin, of course, also. Putin is just, he tells the truth when if it suits him. If it makes him look better, then he will tell the truth. Like he he had this gave sharp criticism of the United States and the Western states, Western Europe, of course, and because they are also to blame for the war in Syria and in the other places, of course, Libya, and they did, they whipped under the, how shall I say, they all whipped it up, like when you are in a desert, for instance, and you are just start to bang with a stick or whatever, and then you whip up a lot of not just dust, you awaken a lot of scorpions and ants and whatever, a lot of vermin, snakes, even, you bring a lot of bad stuff. And that's just what they did in Northern Africa and the Middle East. This it's not just the USA, it's also France and Great Britain, of course, and some other states. And because everybody, what happened in Europe with the European Union, they wanted to be big and tough, be big and strong, as mighty as USA. But USA wouldn't allow that, of course. So I think they have a lot to do with what's happening in Europe today. I think perhaps not the terrorist attacks, but all the other stuff, the economic hardships, and euro. I remember a few years ago, it kind of suddenly went from strong to weak in a matter of weeks or months, and that was kind of suspicious. Seems like somebody had uh, sabotaged it, you know, with intent to weaken the European Union. And anyway, all that stuff with that I started talking about. Um, we need more people like Snowden and Assange, and all of you think they are like wrong. They shouldn't have done that. You are obviously not thinking, haven't seen the whole truth. And if you think that the United States was right to enter Iraq and fight the war there, and then you are really just blind, or you are just too fucking prejudiced and on the right, completely. Because that was just one insane war, and they kind of even after this international commission had concluded, there were no such places where Saddam Hussein produced these bioweapons or nuclear weapons. They said, oh yeah, whatever, fuck it, we are going to war and that's it. And they tried all the time. These fucking liars like Rumsfeld and Cheney, they say, yeah, there are some nuclear weapons. We have find the evidence. It was just fucking fake. It's just bogus. Because they wanted the war. Why? Not because of supposed democracy and stuff like that, but because they wanted to secure their own energy, the fuel. They were they were worried because in the Gulf of Mexico, somebody had found out that the oil supply there would go dry, you know, eventually. So they had to get another source, and that source was Iraq and Kuwait, of course, but Iraq also. So a guy I know that is in the Marines. He said to me, when I said, what about Afghanistan? They should have fought there instead of Iraq, because Bin Laden was said to hide there and all that. But he said, fuck Afghanistan, they don't have anything, why should we stay there? It's Iraq that has all the riches. So it's obvious. It's like in the old times when these adventurers went to these far lands and to plunder them. That's just what they are. They are like pirates. Bush and his people. It was, of course, about vengeance as well, and family vengeance. So I don't know really. It doesn't look so good right now because now Russia is a big. They play. Putin plays a big destabilizing force role in the world today, and that Nostradamus he had prophesied that third world war will start when the Russians and the Arabs unite. This now seems more likely to happen than ever before now, because Putin he supports President Assad. So yeah, there is a possibility that some other Arab states might join in also, of course. So and now they have even in Norway, who is a member of NATO, where I live, they have now announced that they have will send a force down to where it was somewhere in Poland, I think, or something like that. I don't know, which will kind of be a shield towards Russia, and it seems like a new front is being created, a new war front is being created as I speak. That doesn't look good, of course, because we know Putin he's not never gonna back down, and only Obama is not going to be in office much longer. He's got like 5 months left, 5 6 months. What's going to happen when somebody, if especially if somebody like Trump takes over the United States, then we are all fucked, pretty much. He's just gonna start new wars, just like an asshole Bush did, and of course, and not on American soil, but on European. Just like in those two world wars, First World Wars, Europe will once again be the stage for warfare, and that's what they do always. You know, and now with all these fucking terrorist attacks and all that, the plan is, I think, it might be a part of who knows, USA's plan to completely destroy European powers so they can become dependent on them once again, as they were after the Second World War. The Marshall Plan, all this help that they got. But let's not forget that Russia received uh, a really big monetary aid from Germany after the collapse of the Soviet Union. So they are actually still in debt, I think, to Germany. So, but I don't think that Putin will let that stop him really from going to war with Germany also. because the United States is like this, you know, a big brother who is telling the younger brothers, come on, go do that to me, go beat up that guy, for me, so I don't have to, and then I will join you. I will help you if you need help later on. That's what they are doing. That's really sad, fucked up. So we need more heroes. We need, but the problem is, in the West there are people like Snowden and Assange and others. But in Russia, who is there anybody who can do the same? Because you know what happened to that woman journalist Anna Politkovskaya in 2005, 6, I don't know, 6. She got killed because she was writing too much about everyone, Putin and the Chechen war and all that stuff, the organized criminals, Russian mob and all that. Well, of course she got shot because nobody, we know that they are all in cahoots. Really, Putin, so he uh, collaborates with the Russian mafia for sure, because they have so much power, they have so much money and all that. And still, what is really sad is that I see people talk about Putin like he was some sort of savior. And I know this guy he's from Eritrea actually. He told me he thinks Putin is good, and but people in Ukraine know better than that, I think, at least. Yeah, and in Serbia, of course, they all worship him, or not all, but all people who are, still for the old ties, that they had with Russia and all that. So only the independent minds they think differently, and in Russia it seems there aren't enough, or all these independent thinking minds who are not agreeing with the propaganda. They either disappear from the country or they disappear in the country. So it's become much like Hitler's Germany. I think Putin's Russia, they have these laws against Jews, even against gay people. What's next? Laws against gypsies and colored people. I don't know what's next. At the same time, they play like friends with Muslim population and Arabs and all that. So because they know they have to be friends with someone other than themselves, because not even they are not so powerful that they can afford being enemies with everyone else. It's not a good situation. If it, I don't know if it can change either, but if it doesn't change soon, it will need a drastic change. I don't know what can change that. Uh, as far as I can see, the only solution can be that somebody kills all these people that are making trouble. I don't see any other solution, because they are like dogs. They are going to claim their bones, and nothing's gonna stop them except if somebody kills them. They are willing to create war and chaos and mayhem in Europe again, just like they did in 1940 14 and 1940 or 39. So that's what I had to say.